In the summer of 2016, the NBA did not just experience a free agency decision. It experienced a fracture. A moment so controversial, so polarizing, that it reshaped how fans talk about loyalty, legacy, and what it truly means to win. And at the center of it all was Kevin Durant. Because when Kevin Durant left the Oklahoma City Thunder to join the Golden State Warriors, many fans did not just see a superstar changing teams. They saw a legacy being detonated. But to understand why that moment hit so hard, we have to rewind. Before the controversy, before the rings, before the debates that still rage today, Kevin Durant was something almost universally admired. Drafted in 2007 by the Seattle Supersonics, who would soon relocate and become the Oklahoma City Thunder, Durant arrived in the league as a slender, soft-spoken scoring savant. His jumper was pure, his handle was smooth, his footwork was surgical. He did not enter the NBA as a villain. He entered as a prodigy. By 2010, he was a scoring champion. By 2012, he led Oklahoma City to the NBA Finals, alongside Russell Westbrook and James Harden. They were young, explosive, and terrifying. It felt inevitable. The Thunder were not just contenders, they were supposed to own the next decade. Durant won MVP in 2014. His speech that year became legendary, especially the emotional tribute to his mother. "You're the real MVP." It was humble, authentic, human. He was not just one of the best players in the world. He was one of the most likable. And then came 2016. The Thunder were up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals against a 73-9 Warriors team led by Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. 3 games to 1. One more win, and Durant would return to the finals by defeating the greatest regular season team in NBA history. Instead, Oklahoma City collapsed. Game 6, Klay Thompson explodes. Game 7, Warriors complete the comeback. Durant struggled late in that series. The Thunder offense stalled, and in the aftermath, there was pain, but also belief that they were close. Very close. Then, July 4th happened. Durant announced he was signing with the Warriors, the same team that eliminated him, the same team that had just broken the regular season wins record, the same team that had already won a championship in 2015. Let's pause here. This was not a star joining a good team. This was a superstar joining a machine that did not need saving. And that's where the legacy debate ignited. Fans were not upset because Durant left. Free agency is part of the business. LeBron had left Cleveland, Shaq had left Orlando. Stars move. They were upset because of who he joined. It felt like skipping the mountain and helicoptering to the summit. The competitive narrative changed instantly. Instead of overcoming the Warriors, Durant joined them. Instead of defeating a juggernaut, he reinforced it, and the league felt unbalanced overnight. The Warriors won 67 games in Durant's first season. They stormed through the playoffs with a 16-1 record, one of the most dominant postseason runs ever. Durant was spectacular. He averaged over 35 points in the finals against Cleveland Cavaliers. He won Finals MVP. And yet, something felt different. When he hit the dagger 3 over LeBron James in Game 3 of the 2017 Finals, it should have been a defining moment. It was cold. It was elite. It was historically significant. But instead of universal praise, there was resistance, because the difficulty level had changed. Durant did not join a rebuilding team. He joined a 7-3 win core in its prime. Stephen Curry, the reigning 2-time MVP, willingly adjusted his role. Klay Thompson sacrificed shots. Draymond anchored the defense. The question began to linger. Did Kevin Durant elevate the Warriors, or did the Warriors validate Kevin Durant? The championships kept coming. Another title in 2018. Another Finals MVP for Durant. Statistically, he was brilliant, efficient, dominant, unstoppable in isolation. But public perception never fully recovered. For many fans, the rings felt discounted. And perception matters in legacy conversations. Here's where it gets even more complicated. Durant clearly heard the noise. Social media exchanges, burner accounts defending himself, interviews expressing frustration that he was not fully embraced. He won championships, yet seemed unsettled, because legacy is not just about hardware, it's about narrative. Think about this. When Dirk Nowitzki won in 2011 with the Dallas Mavericks, it elevated his legacy massively because he did it as the underdog. When LeBron returned to Cleveland and won in 2016, coming back from 3-1 against that same Warriors team, it redefined his career arc. Adversity enhances legacy. Durant removed adversity. That's the argument critics made. In 2019, Durant suffered an Achilles rupture during the finals. It was devastating. The Warriors' dynasty fractured. He left in free agency and joined the Brooklyn Nets alongside Kyrie Irving. This was supposed to be the redemption chapter. His team, his culture, his chance to prove he could lead without a pre-built dynasty. And to his credit, when he returned from injury, he was phenomenal. Many players never regained form after an Achilles tear. Durant looked like Durant, smooth, deadly, efficient. In the 2021 playoffs, he nearly carried Brooklyn past the eventual champion Milwaukee Bucks almost single-handedly. His foot was inches from a series-winning three-pointer in Game 7. That moment reminded everyone how great he is. But the Nets experiment eventually unraveled. Injuries, chemistry issues, trade demands. By 2023, Durant was traded again, this time to the Phoenix Suns. Another super team attempt, another title chase. And once again, the conversation followed him. Is he building something or joining something? Let's be honest, Kevin Durant is one of the greatest scorers the NBA has ever seen. 4 scoring titles, league MVP, multiple championships, over 25,000 career points. On pure talent, he's undeniable. But legacy is about more than talent. It's about context. And the 2016 decision permanently altered how his career would be discussed. Before that summer, Durant was viewed as a future all-time great climbing the mountain the hard way. After that summer, he became the superstar who took the easier route. Is that fair? Some argue it isn't. Free agency exists for players to choose their best situation. Front offices stack rosters constantly. Why should players be blamed for maximizing their odds? But the NBA has always valued competitive mythology. We remember the battles, the obstacles, the rivalries. When Durant joined Golden State, he disrupted that mythology. The Warriors versus Thunder rivalry evaporated overnight. The league's balance shifted, the suspense thinned, and that's why the backlash was so intense. It was not just about Durant, it was about what fans felt they lost. Competitive tension, uncertainty, the idea that the best teams should have to overcome each other, not merge. Did Durant destroy his legacy? That depends on how you define legacy. If it's about skill, production, and accolades, no. His resume is stacked. His impact on the floor is generational. But if legacy is about narrative purity, about climbing the mountain instead of joining the climbers, then 2016 changed everything. Even now, years later, the conversation always circles back. Would he have won without Golden State? Would the Warriors have won without him? Does it matter? That's the shadow of that decision. And maybe that's the real story. Kevin Durant did not destroy his talent. He complicated his mythology. He traded universal admiration for championships. He gained rings and lost a portion of romantic legacy in the eyes of many fans. Some believe history will soften the criticism. Others believe that 2016 will always define him. But one thing is undeniable. That summer did not just change his team. It changed how greatness would be judged in the modern NBA. And in a league built on stories as much as stats, sometimes the hardest shot to make is the one that preserves your narrative. Kevin Durant chose victory. The debate over what it cost him may never end. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. Legacies in the NBA are never finished while the player is still writing chapters. After leaving Golden State, Durant chose the harder road. With the Brooklyn Nets, he tried to build something from scratch alongside Kyrie Irving and James Harden. Injuries, vaccine drama, front office chaos, it unraveled fast. Yet in 2021, before the chaos fully consumed that project, Durant delivered one of the greatest playoff performances ever against the Milwaukee Bucks, a shoe size away from eliminating the eventual champions. That was not a villain. That was a basketball god trapped in dysfunction. Then came the move to the Phoenix Suns. Another swing, another attempt to prove he could still be the best player on a title team. The results have been complicated. Flashes of brilliance, stretches of frustration, and constant debates about leadership and durability. So did Kevin Durant destroy his legacy, or did he simply complicate it? Because when the noise fades, the resume still screams 2 Finals MVPs, an MVP award, scoring titles, and a place among the most unstoppable offensive players the game has ever seen. Maybe the real story is not destruction. Maybe it's evolution, messy, human, and unfinished.